as a strategist in the Adlab, I kind of am the beginning of the idea. I take a lot of research and I condense it down into insights, and we take those insights and create it into a campaign with the creatives.
I really just help inspire creativity. I think that's really the goal at the end of the day, and whether that's with the brief, whether that's with backing up a creative idea with resources, statistics. Usually finding a human insight is kind of the best way to do that.
My role as a strategist is to either collaborate with creatives initially or come up with a brief idea on my own to then pitch to the creatives. It's imperative to have collaboration with creatives. You really need to become friends with people in the creative track so that you can take your baby insights and create them into full-fledged campaigns.
We're really ideally right there with the whole process from research with the brief to production and making sure it comes to life in a realistic and impactful way.
You kind of walk along with the creatives to make sure that they're staying on brief, to make sure that they are focusing on what your brief actually says.
The brief is really a living and breathing document. It can transform and change in new ways.
You need to be culturally aware. You need to have your thumb on kind of what's happening in the world and how that relates to brands. Also, as a strategist, you need to be an observer. What are people doing? What are people thinking? Maybe what aren't they saying that they actually mean?
Just understanding, what the consumer audience is going through.
So the research side of strategy can either be very formal, like looking into studies done by scholars, or it can be casual, like looking at Reddit or Twitter to see what people are thinking. You can go onto a subreddit and see what people are saying and take that and create a campaign from it.
Just learn and talk to as many people as you can. As a strategist, you want to be curious, you want to be helpful. I think just making all those connections early on is huge, because you can really learn from so many different people and how they approach the work and the craft.
I think someone who's interested in strategy should start by looking at cultural trends and seeing how brands are using them, because those are things that you will have to be aware of and implement in your job.
Strategy is very tough to get into in the industry. It's one of the smallest departments within agencies. When I realized I wanted to go into strategy, and I made that decision because I saw myself as a more curious collaborator type person. I wasn't the person that could be trusted to come up with the idea, but I loved supporting and collaborating and making the direction and inspiring creativity. I feel like it's more of like an assist type position, and that's where I thrive.
I came into the program thinking that I was going to do copywriting, and I was pretty dead set on that until I took the first class 309, which is about strategy. And I realized that strategy is so much more focused on people and focused on the deep things of brands and focused on psychology and culture and trends. And all of that aligns really well with my personality, because I was thinking about all of those things naturally. It's kind of the psychology aspect of advertising. It's so fun.